Hello everyone out there, and hello from myself, Derek McGillivray, who I'm hosting tonight's event from Soul Retreat, Spiritual and Wellness Centre in Elgin. We have the lovely Jules Davidson here tonight, or Julie Davidson, from Jules Gems. She's running a course this weekend, and she's here tonight to give us a little talk on all things about crystals, Jules, aren't you?
I am indeed, Derek. Well, thank you for having me tonight, and Angela as well. And thank you all for coming to support us this weekend. I hope you're going to enjoy the weekend. We're going to be covering a whole load of things, teaching you everything about crystals that I know. So, Derek was asking me to give a little bit introduction about myself, how I got into crystals and everything. For starters, I think primarily, I now see this now. I held 3 very different careers, which accumulated in bringing me forward to where I am today. And they all played a part in unknowing at the time, of course, what I was going to be doing in my later 40s. So I spent about 17 years in the oil and gas industry. I've been a PA secretary in many of the major projects at the time that were going on in Aberdeen, when the oil was in its heyday. I then went to Aberdeen Journals, and I did about 4.5, 5 years of advertising. And then my next career was, I spent about 5.5 years working in a nursing home, a small private country nursing home, which was a wonderful place to work in. And primarily, they focused and concentrated on people with dementia and Alzheimer's, and frailties of all sorts as well within that. Within that time, I accumulated experience in doing Reiki, crystal therapy, etc., etc. And what I really felt wasn't what I was following a path of was very people focused and dominated. And I was made redundant towards the end of my first 2-year diploma, about 2 weeks before the course ended. And I felt a bit lost after that time, actually, for a few months, because it was all go, 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 and I just didn't know what to do with myself. So my first course covered crystal healing, psychic development, and natural remedies, which was essential oils and herbs, etc., etc. So once I was made redundant, I thought, well, you know what, I better put this to good use. So I decided to open up a little shop, as it were, from my house outside Ellen in Orkneygat. And that proved to be really successful. And we ran that for about 6 months. And I got the bug for it, and I wanted more. So I wanted to open up my own shop. So one day we went into Ellen, a supplier and I went into Ellen, and we looked for a shop unit. In the little town centres, there's always a shop unit for rent. And lo and behold, we went in at the local cafe, asked the owner, is there a shop unit for rent? And she says, Julie, next door, my sister's son like to get for ourselves. So everything fell into place. It was like the doors opened, nothing was difficult, and everything just happened. And I had a really good feeling it was going to be successful. 13 years on, here I am, standing here, not having taught actually for 4 years due to post-COVID, and what have you, catching up with all the jobs in the shop, and I thought, I must get out here and I must start teaching again, because I'm really missing it. So that is what's brought me here today. Sorry, yeah, that's what's brought me here today, guys. We're doing crystal healing, level 1, over Saturday and Sunday. But tonight I'm doing a little bit of a soft introduction for the course attendees. And what we're going to go through is understanding your chakras. Now, I don't know if anybody or any of you out there know, what chakras are about and what they are. But primarily, chakras are small, revolving energy units that are contained in the body. We have dozens and dozens of them, starting from the palms of our hand, where we do hands-on healing. But I'm going to go over the 7 main chakras in the body. What happens when we are out of sync, when we are out of kilter, as it were? It affects a part of the body, which is called the chakras, that energy center. And it's a collection of energy that flows and rotates and turns. And it can overgive, it can undergive, or it can flow in a lovely equilibrium. That is when the body is flowing, it is healthy, and we're doing our own inner work, and everything is flowing up and through the body. It can have a detrimental effect when something is out of sync. It can, lead to tiredness, fatigue, mental health problems, depression, physical symptoms, stomach problems, headaches, ear problems, arthritis, joints, etc., can be affected. So what we always want to do is try and maintain that awareness in ourselves, that's getting in tune with ourselves. Once we achieve that, everything will flow. This is an absolute work in progress. It is. For the rest of our years, it absolutely will be, because we can't be on full awareness all the time. But we can try and do our best. I personally use crystals to achieve that. I'm always in a state of awareness most of the time, but I am human, and about 80% of the time I'm there. The 20%, if I'm busy, yada, 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 going on in the shop, I'm working hard, etc., I'll let that part go. And then, something will give, and I think, oh yeah, I've neglected myself that way. So it brings me back to myself. What I do is I tune in what part of that body is being affected. Am I lacking of sleep? Am I not eating properly? Am I not getting enough exercise? I can go through all of that. I really can. And I have to be very strict with myself to try and keep to a good routine every day. It's not always feasible, but that is human and that is life, and life can get really busy and messy. So, chakras, crystals, let me just point this up here. What I've done is I've printed out, photocopied, and everybody has a leaflet here. It's a good example and breakdown of what goes on in the body and how it's affected. Equally, when we are not in present moment, the ego can take over and we have lessons to learn. Or if we are in awareness, we are working from a higher state of being, and we're being in the present moment. And we are accepting, we're forgiving, we're compassionate, we're loving, we're empathic. Broken down here, at the bottom, I'm going to start down at the bottom here, is the root chakra. And it is dominated by the colour red. Now what I have here is a beautiful red jasper crystal. I'll just show it to everybody here. That's in your kits. Red jasper. It is a fabulous grounding crystal. It's very energetic, it's solid, it gives foundations, structure, energy, vitality, vigor. Is your red jasper. Okay. Solid, it is wonderful keeping you grounded.
Is there other red crystals that you can use?
You know this, Derek, there's not many. Some of them would actually be toxic to work with. So, red jasper is mainly the one that I can think of. The next one for the sacral chakra is carnelian. Now, it comes in red, oranges, and whites, because it's actually from the quartz family. But red jasper is primarily I work with, or black tourmaline, which is a beautiful crystal to work with. Black tourmaline is a crystal that it's very grounding, it's protective, but it's one of these ones that gathers up a momentum going up the body. Now that will be going over the weekend with the course attendees, and you'll see what I mean from that over the weekend. In your two sheets here, there is also something that is in there as well, if any of you like to work with your essential oils. That is listed in each of the chakras here. And I've got like testers with me, which we'll go over with tomorrow. But working with essential oils is another tool and modality to use when you are taking self-care, going down the holistic route and method. Essential oils, your crystals. Look out for those modalities. Work away with what you are intrigued by, and you're going to find different ways of healing yourself. And what it is it really is taking charge of your own body, your own mind, and being your own doctor, really. That's how I've worked. I very rarely go to the doctor in about 20, 30 years, actually. I listen to what's going on, and invariably I know what I need to do. Red jasper, that is red jasper. So let me actually go over your root chakra, which is the first chakra. The root chakra is like a circumference that goes round the hip area. Okay, that diameter and circumference around here, over the hips, takes in the tailbone, round here. It covers the large intestine, the bowel. I'm going to work up a little bit, verging into your kidneys, round to the front, and it just goes below, about an inch or so below the belly button. That is the area. So that covers, the bone structure, and everything, your muscles, tendons, what have you, that all goes in there, your internal organs. Okay, so that is the root chakra. Okay, stone and other crystals that you can go with that is bloodstone, garnet, ruby, and of course red jasper. It is your foundation, it is your survival, it is your instincts, security, stability. That is the psychological aspects that it affects. Getting that right. So that would be like your work, your house, your relationships, finances. It's all things that puts down the foundations and the structure to our well-being. If any of that goes out of kilter, then we go a little bit out of. Righty, the next one is the sacral chakra. Now the sacral chakra covers the ovaries in women, the testes in men. It covers, again, it's just by the belly button, the small intestine, primarily, round a little bit to the back, round to the front, the lower back. And the sacral and the root chakra are two very close together areas that kind of can overlap a little. Authenticity, creation, soul, fire, sexuality are all the aspects that is contained in the sacral chakra. Carnelian, it is a wonderful, wonderful crystal to use. It's actually part of the quartz family. Carry carnelian with you It can stave off flus and colds. It is such an invigorating crystal to work with for that. Things like sort of period pains, lower back pain, ovary pain, anything like that that you can suffer from, use carnelian. It is one of the best crystals to help. It may not put the pain away or anything like that, in problems down in that area, but it will help an awful lot towards that. You could team this up with clear quartz, and that combination with clear quartz, which takes on the aspects of any other crystal, is a boost, because a clear quartz is the master healer. Accompany that with any other crystal, and it increases the healing aspects tenfold. It is slightly below the navel. Other crystals that you can use in the sacral chakra area is orange calcite, orange carnelian, fire opal is another good one actually. You can use citrine. Another one that's not listed down here is golden healer. It is a lovely quartz crystal to work with. Okay. And I went over actually the elements. Red jasper is earth, and carnelian, the element is water. It does actually, as I said before, you have the accompanying crystals the oils I should say, in there as well. The solar plexus, my God, it is one of the most important chakra centers actually in the human body, especially because why I say this is it is the most easily tapped into area on the body that we just give our power away without realizing it. And again, this is where we have to be, in self-awareness. And that can happen merely by talking to somebody in the shop, or you maybe have a little bit of a not so nice conversation perhaps with somebody. You get upset by it and you give your power away. Always try and remain, in our center, in our core being. It is the power center of our soul. And a thing to remember here is, if you're having trouble with boundaries, don't wait until somebody is here before you do something about it. Use that as your boundary guide, psychologically, physically, mentally, emotionally. Think, gauge that person, keep them there perhaps until you get to know them a little bit. But don't wait until it's here, is the best sort of piece of advice I can give you. Because by then, you're going to have to work really, really hard once they get in here, once they get underneath the skin. And you're going to have to work very hard on yourself to let that, to fathom that out, work it through. But that, you look at it positively, it's a lesson for you. So, we have citrine. Wonderful, wonderful citrine. It's like a golden ray of sunshine. It really, really is. And it serves as a reminder of our power center. Now, the solar plexus actually starts just below the sternum here, the breastbone, here to just above the belly button. So you're dealing with this band here around the torso. So you are dealing with the pancreas, the liver, the spleen, and the small intestine. Okay, you're covering all that area here, and you're covering the midsection of your spine, right around here. Okay. And all sorts of things this can help with. It really can. Stomach issues, ulcers, moving on and shifting of energy, especially stomach issues. Stomach issues are quite a bad one, but primarily that can be related to stress. So you then work back and you have to then deal with the stress issue. Fantastic for courage, confidence, success, physical well-being, mental, emotional well-being. Citrine is a wonderful crystal to work with. The element is fire, the solar plexus or the power chakra. Fire. The purpose is wonderful. Power, self-worth, self-confidence, and self-esteem. That is the emotional, psychological, mental aspects that citrine is related to. You can use amber, golden topaz, sunstone, yellow calcite, and again, golden healer. Citrine is part of the quartz family. It is one of the master healers. Use it. It's wonderful to put in your home in the wealth corners as well of the house if you're doing feng shui. I can't talk highly enough about citrine. It's fantastic. Wonderful.
I remember that you, one of the first big crystals that you ever sold me was citrine, and we have it in our fireplace over here. And it's such a lovely crystal. You sold me that as well.
That's right.
And we just love it.
I remember. Yeah. That was up in Wick, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So here's a wonderful, fully polished point. It's a citrine point. What's called cut base, so it stands. And it's fully polished all the way around. A lovely one, isn't it? Shall I pass it round to the ladies and gents? Here we go. I'll start with you just to pass it around. And feel the energies from these crystals. Right. The heart. The heart is a phenomenal organ in the body. It keeps us alive. It pumps around our energy, our source, and it invigorates the soul. So many things. What I have here is a beautiful malachite crystal here. Malachite is a very, very powerful, deep healing, heart-centered crystal. They call it the midwife stone, one for pain relieving. You can see the green in malachite. That's because it contains, it's very much copper-based. Copper will colour your crystals green. So chrysocolla has got a lot of green and blue in it. That is caused by the copper element in here. Very great. So therefore, copper, great for arthritic pain, rheumatics, muscular pain, in sockets and joints. Really helps with that. And I'm just thinking, for those of you who don't know, some of the ladies here are obviously therapists and are very much aware of holistic remedies and what have you. When you are working with crystals, you can carry it. Being a woman, I put my crystals in my bra because it's next to the skin, and the absorption of that energy absorbs through the skin and into the bloodstream. Bloodstream goes round, and it is a slow, natural, and methodical way working with crystals in getting that into your body and into your aura, your outer aura. And this then energy builds up. Do something daily and regularly, and you are building up the overall health and well-being of yourself, your body, your chakras. So malachite, heart region, the element is air, and the heart is for love, joy, and inner peace. What I also do is I add another crystal into the heart chakra, which is rose quartz. And the combination of the pink and the green rays of light are fabulous. Rose quartz, of course, is the universal stone for love, and it's love of self, love of others, and compassion for the self and others.
Just to amplify that power of rose.
Wonderful. Shall we pass this one around?
Yes, certainly.
This is a lovely gift,
Yeah, we got that in
isn't it?
from.
Wow.
Yeah. I got that on my Days and Treasures of the Earth. One of my favourite crystals
Oh,
is
it is. Yeah.
rose quartz. And I think the good thing about rose quartz is if you're a healer, I think rose quartz and amethyst, Jules, is the most popular healing stones, I think, in the practice.
It is amethyst and rose quartz. Absolutely, they're both members of the quartz family. Master healers for crystals, absolutely. And I think your starting crystals, when you delve into the world of crystals, don't take them for granted. Your rose quartz, clear quartz, amethyst, and smoky quartz and citrine. These are your basic foundational crystals to work with. Really, fantastic starting points. Always remember about them. Go back to them. They are your foundation crystal kit.
I think they bring a lot of, when you're doing a treatment room, or even in this room, with the amplified power of all your crystals in the room, it sets the scene as well.
It does, because I was feeling it when I was beginning to put the crystals out. Angela and Janet were carrying the crystals in from my car, and I think you both were saying when you were carrying the boxes in that you could feel the energy. Yeah.
We've got Di Melville watching. She's saying hello.
Hi, Di.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Any questions so far? Anything you'd like to ask me?
I'm waiting for some questions to come, but
okay.
I was asking people what their favourite crystal is, or maybe some of the audience could answer some of that.
Yeah,
Favourite crystals, or
who has a favourite crystal? Sarah?
I love citrines
Citrines?
and fluorite and multivite.
Multivite is a lovely crystal. It's one of my favourites as well.
The three lovely crystals. Yes. Bev?
Malachite.
You love malachite.
Yeah, I have that practically everywhere in the room, even though it's small bits. It's a real.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Di Melville says multivite as well.
Multivite. Yeah. Yes.
And I think there's so many crystals, but the most popular ones is probably the ones that you've been talking about, Jules.
Yes, and that what it makes up your chakra set. Yeah. Okay.
And is there, does it really matter when you haven't got a lot of crystals? Just having a quartz crystal around, I always find is handy anyway.
Absolutely. If you would have a simple quartz crystal, which then could be clear quartz, amethyst, rose, citrine, or smoky quartz. That's your 5 basic quartzes. Have any one of these around and start with any one of those.
And a lot of people don't realise that smoky quartz actually means Cairngorm.
Yes, that's right. Yes. The Cairngorms were hugely covered with the smoky quartz.
That is
a
meaning.
Go back to the late 1800s, 1900s, early 1900s. But then it got everybody was pinching bits off
The Victorian age, yeah.
Because the royal family had fantastic pieces in their collection. Yeah. Okay, so that is the heart. So the heart covers obviously the actual organ of the heart, and front and back, and the lungs as well. Green aventurine is good for the lungs, by the way. But yes, that's the heart chakra, covers both systems, the heart and the lungs. Alrighty, we're up to the throat chakra. Okay, so the throat chakra is about here. Down to the higher heart chakra, the thymus, about here. Come over there. And all the way around there. It's an area that is really quite a sensitive area. So when I'm doing a crystal treatment, I do have to check in with the person first, because that might feel too heavy. And these are the larger tumblestones that I've got that we're using, but that might be too large. to go over the throat area, because it might bring up feelings of, feeling of being, a weight on you, being strangled, that kind of idea that might come up.
Could you just put it to the side of your
Yes,
necklace
I
instead
put it
of?
below, where it indents here, if that's the case, you can put it below that part, like the Adam apple, or you can put it at the side here. Now, when we're doing crystal treatments, we've got somebody lying down on a couch, we can even put it on the pillow, if the person is particularly sensitive to anything like that. But let's assume everything is okay. The crystal would lie here. So it is a sensitive area. It's their point of talking and communicating with another human being. And it's conveying what we want to say or listening to what is being said to us. It's an area that must be treated, very carefully, very gently, with assertiveness, but without aggression. So we're talking from the heart, and but it's gentle, it's soft, it's smooth, it's flowing. You're looking at gentler coloured crystals. So this one here is blue lace agate. You could use angelite as another one, turquoise, larimar, celestite you can actually use as well. Blue chalcedony are some of the crystals that you can use on the throat area. So if you imagine this band going right around the neck here, the back of the neck, that is the area here, that is being covered by blue lace agate. It's an agate, remember, all agates and jaspers are hugely grounding, no matter what colour the agate is or what colour the jasper is. That's a side issue from the throat. Agates and jasper, hugely grounding. So, working it on the throat. The throat is the element of the ether and sound, colour blue, and the area, location is centre of the throat and the neck. Now, the purpose is, it is for communication, self-expression, feelings, speaking the truth, holding secrets, as it says here on this sheet here. I think it's an absolute wonderful crystal again to use. Blue lace agate, by the way, is great for children who are a little overactive. It is a great one for just calming them down. That, along with Dalmatian jasper, work that two together for little energetic little souls that are fleeing about all over the place. Great for bringing them and just calming them down.
I love the
And
sound
great
of,
to go to sleep with 4 little children like that.
I love the sound of Dalmatian.
Dalmatian, they love it. I've got a Dalmatian dragon here, I don't know if you can see it, but this is what Dalmatian jasper looks like.
Where's the one of that?
Children love this, because I think they do associate it with the Dalmatian dog, and that is a friendly sort of figure in a child's head.
It's amazing, yeah.
Dalmatian jasper.
I see why it's called Dalmatian now.
Yeah, for obvious reasons, isn't it? So Dalmatian jasper for children, lovely. To go to sleep with at night, they love it, along with your blue lace agate. Okay. The third eye, a lovely amethyst. Amethyst is one of my favourite crystals. So the third eye, which is just above the eyebrows, centre of the forehead. Okay. When I'm doing a crystal treatment on somebody lying down, I just gently place that on the centre of the forehead. Amethyst, such a soothing quartz crystal. It opens up an expansiveness in the third eye, reaching out to the horizons of your mind. It's a fabulous, fabulous crystal to work with. So therefore, you are opening up to channeling spirit, clairvoyancy, helping with headaches, ear problems, sleep, a wonderful one for sleep, and more commonly, grief. It is a wonderful crystal to help those suffering from grief. Because the knock-on effect is when one is suffering from grief and change, grief and change, you grieve when something changes. Or it could be the passing of a person, the loss of a job, a pet passes away. Anything like that can cause a change in the psyche, and that can bring on, progressive feelings of depression. What amethyst does is it begins to soothe the soul. Keep it on you, work away with it, keep it on next to your skin. Have it underneath your pillow at night time. Hold it in your hand when you're sleeping. Your hand will naturally open when you're sleeping. And it's going to fall out. That's okay. Your crystal is going to be lying around you and beside you. Still working away. Just trust that it's working. So, the third eye. It is the ability to think and make decisions. It's wisdom, intuition, and imagination. The colour is indigo and the element is light. Other crystals that you can use on the third eye. There's so many. So there's amethyst you can use, charoite, lepidolite, sugilite, iolite as well. These are all third eye crystals.
And I remember one, Jules, and when I worked in Treasures of the Earth, and I had a hangover. I know I'm being quite polite here. And there was one of these crystal names that you said, and you put it over the third eye. It was fantastic for curing the hangover.
And you remember which one it was?
It was a cross between tiger's eye and one of that crystals. It was quite a flat one, but it was always remained cold. Does that ring any bells with you?
Quartz crystals, yes, have a coldness to them.
Yeah.
Lepidolite moonstone, you can use snowy quartz around the third eye area and around the crown chakra. Like I said, sugilite, sapphire, you can use clear quartz. Herkimer diamonds, very good for dream recall. It is a wonderful, wonderful crystal. It is, I think it's everybody's go-to, as you were saying, Derek, amethyst. Yeah. Beautiful amethyst. And then we come to the crown chakra. Now, you can use a number of crystals in the crown chakra, but I've gone for lapis lazuli here. You can use primarily clear quartz. Okay, clear quartz. It is the master healing crystal. Okay, there's nothing clear quartz cannot do. You can set your intentions to use a particular crystal, quartz crystal with clear quartz. You can program, set your intentions, work with putting it out there, what you would like to work with, what jobs to do that you would like to give other crystals, your crystal skulls. Clear quartz, fabulous crystal to work with. So the crown chakra is just above 2 inches above the top of the skull. That is your direct contact to source. Now by source, I mean it is your higher self. It is to a connection to God or your deity, whatever deity and religion, belief that you belong to or assigned to. A clear Christ consciousness is your channeling to the above, the divine. When we sit in meditation and we link to source, the source channel comes down through the top of the skull, and then everything will just happen from there on in. It's just an expansiveness that happens, and that's when channeling. Derek, I know you're into working with spirit.
I've just seen an aura mist, and it's Christ consciousness that you sent
yes,
up to us.
Yes,
it's
right,
like
yes,
putting the camera in here.
So I'm talking about clear quartz, but we're working with lapis right now. lapis is a fabulous, lapis lazuli that is. Lapis is a wonderful crystal to work with opening up to, as I say, meditation, Christ consciousness, and learning to meditate. It's fabulous. It's a good one if you suffer from migraines. It's a tremendous one to work with for migraine headaches, especially, and use it for opening up your third eye as well, channeling, bringing in the unseen world, the veil, pulling back the veil for lapis. So, lapis, you could, for the top of the head, the element is thought. You can work for clear quartz, diamond, Herkimer diamonds, as I said, lepidolite, moonstone, sugilite, amethyst, sapphire, so many. Danbarite is another one I would recommend to work in that area. And that, so very quickly, very briefly, brings us to our 7 chakras. 7 crystals, 7 chakras. We've picked out the crystals color-wise in combination to the chakras on the human body. What would you like to do now, Derek?
I think maybe a demonstration.
A little demonstration?
Yeah, how you would do a healing.
A little crystal healing.
Yeah. See, we've got the lovely pink table there,
We've got the pink table.
which is a great
I'll
vibration.
be working with a pendulum, so I'll be working with a pendulum for this. Okay. Do I have somebody? Yeah, Di, would you like to do it? Okay. We've got a lovely Di.
No, obviously, Jules, when you're doing a healing, would you prepare the room and stuff beforehand?
Oh my gosh, yes. I'll
Yes.
have you up here, Di. Probably shoes off.
And
Yes, of course, when we are preparing for a healing treatment, we are setting up a room and our space an hour before our client arrives. Now by that, I'll let you Di get yourself comfy. So by that I mean we're cleansing and clearing the room by using sage, which I show you.
Yeah.
This Californian white sage. It's one of the sacred tools that we use. We light that up and we cleanse and clear all around the room. Okay, and that is it is equal to bring in the spirit, but it is to keep the place nice and healthy and clean and safe.
now, if you couldn't burn that sage, could you use like an incense stick sage, something like that?
Yes, you get very many white sages, in the form of incense sticks as well. Or you can use Palo Santo wood, which I've got here as well. And again, Palo Santo wood is another sacred tool to use in the therapy room. And again, it is one of those that I would thoroughly recommend that you have, in your toolkit.
What about diffuser oil? I know that's very
Diffuser oil,
popular.
Yes, because you can use the essential oil sage for that. Yeah. And but you can actually get Palo Santo oil as well. Sage oil, definitely. Righty. I'll just straighten you up now. Right.
How are you feeling there, Di? You okay?
I'm already scared to fall asleep.
You just relax and fall asleep.
Just enjoy it all the
The fact that there's millions of people watching it doesn't matter.
That's my dog, you're feeling it.
Yeah.
I hope I don't start snoring. So, this is a very basic, simple way that I would go about things. I'm just starting with the crystals here. So as Derek said, yes, get your room ready, prepare it with your sage, Palo Santo, get your music ready, get the lighting, etc., ready for your client arriving. And you yourself have to be in a very good space as well to do your best by your client. So let's assume, for purposes, your client has come in, you meet, you greet, and you have a wee chat to see what's going on with your client. You've ascertained what's happening and what have you. Get the client lying down on the couch, nice, comfy, the back of your knees supported down. Yes, yeah, with a pillow. Yeah, so a pillow behind the head. It's all the client's comfort as well. You have to see to so they can enjoy the treatment. So pillow behind the knees, and if you want underneath the ankles as well. We then begin to work on the client. Okay, and we need to ascertain what's happening with the chakras. Are they overactive? Are they underactive? Or are they an even keel? Okay, so it's just maybe a maintenance session. We can do it by two things. One, we can use our pendulum. Or two, if you forget your pendulum, what are you going to do? You're going to feel, you're going to sense with your hand, either hand, your dominant or your receiving hand, whatever you work with. Once or twice I've forgotten my pendulum if I've travelled outward, and I thought, no, what am I going to do? It's your hand, it's your touch, you're sensing, you're feeling into that person, okay? So you're starting at what we call the Earth Star. Now the Earth Star is what your feet are attached to, it's walking on the earth, okay? And the Earth Star can actually, the aura of that person can come out to about here. Are they actually seen with their?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So I'm going to be sensing, coming into the energy that Di is coming out here. I'm going to be feeling it all this way. Okay, and I'm going to tell you when I start to feel it. I'm starting to feel Di's energy about here.
And when you say feel it, is it a tingling?
It is
a
a
sensation?
resistance.
Yeah.
It's a resistance that you're going to be feeling. It's like it kind of stops you almost going forward, any further forward. Okay, so that connects you with the earth. All right. I'm going to just come up here, and I'm just going to sense and feel. Maybe say a little low energy on the lower legs, perhaps, the knees. And then I'm going to come to the root chakra. Work my way up to the root chakra. And then the sacral. And then we're going to go up to the solar plexus. Now, here's something I'm going to get you to, you'll be learning tomorrow. When we're working with the chakra centers, I'm going to get you to come in from the top. Okay? I'm just going to feel for your hips are. There we go. I'm going to get you to come in from the top. And we call this, you're sensing and feeling the pillars of light. Okay? That is your root chakra. So we're coming in up high, and we're working our way down. And I'm going to sense and feel the Di's root chakra or her pillar of light. Okay. It can be overextended, as I say, it can be under par, you could say. Okay, you're then going to work your way up the body doing that method. You're going to feel resistance when you're working with your partners tomorrow. You're going to feel this resistance. And you just feel it coming up. So there's no way I can describe it. You're going to feel this resistance, okay? So it's something to get a little bit used to if you don't want to work with your pendulum. I actually haven't used this pendulum before. So I'm quickly going to say to it, show me yes and show me no. But I'm going to do this inside my head. Okay, so this is a pendulum I haven't used. I've picked it up from the box. And in my head, this is what I'm going to ask. So I'm going to say, show me yes. We'll see what happens. And invariably with me, it goes clockwise. I'll wait till it's going. And in my head, I'm going to say, show me no. And midway, it's changed direction to go anti-clockwise.
A lot of people say to me, oh, you're moving that and all that, but if you've rested your arm, and I've done it in tables, it moves without you moving at all, and you feel it tingling on the tip of your fingers.
Yes, I'm getting shivers going up my arm here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to find Dai's root chakra. Okay, over here. And I'm going to ask something in my head. Okay, I've asked a few questions in my head, just a little under energy in the root chakra. I'm going to go, no, we can use this all the way up, but I'm thinking, Derek, how are we for time?
Okay.
Do you want to ask
We've got-
questions?
yeah.
Anybody want to ask questions?
We've got
This is a system I would use going right up the chakras using this system. So the question I was asking was, is Dai's root chakra cleansed and cleared? And is it working to its fullest optimum? And it said no. So what I then do during a procedure of using different crystals, the root chakra, say you would be down here by the root chakra. And then using the system, I would then use the carnelian, for the sacral, and the citrine for the solar plexus, malachite for the heart, and blue sargate. And I'm just going to pop it up here, down, and sit there fine. Amethyst for, I'll just put on now, down. And then the lapis, we just gently touch actually at the top of the head. And the crystal rests on the pillow, like that. Now, tomorrow we'll be doing more intricate layouts using quartz points around each crystal. We let them sit for a while, and then I go over my pendulum over each chakra point, and then see what happens, because when we work with the quartz points, wonderful things begin to happen. And a balance and a flow begin to happen through the body. So that is what I would do working up the body, or when I'm working with a client. Now, you can do any amount of different layouts using your crystals. This is where you have fun, your imagination and your creativity kick in. You can do anything you want. Who's to say that you can't do anything? Or you can't do this, you can't do that. You have fun with it. So I would have black tourmaline up, from the knees up to the thighs. I would have smoky quartz down by the feet and the ankles. And I would probably have hematoid quartz working in the lower part of the body. This is all for momentum, to get the energy flowing up and through and out the body. It's always for unblocking and unsticking stagnant energy that no longer serves you. That is the ultimate thing, I think, with crystal healing. You may not know what has shifted and moved. You maybe are not meant to know, but know it's working for your highest good. Okay, just keep that in mind. It's for the highest good of the client. Work away with that one. Let these sit for maybe about 10-15 minutes. Bring in your own energy. You can use some sage or anything you want to do. Just let them work. And the quartz points will just bring a fabulous cleansing and clearing for the client as well. Once that has happened, and the chakras are all then balanced and cleansed, which you check with either your hand or your pendulum. You ask the pendulum, is this chakra cleansed, cleared, balanced, and energized? You do that up to 7 chakras, assuming everything is fine and it's okay. The treatment is finished. We then take off the crystals in a reverse position. And the root chakra is the last one that we pick up. We can then use our selenite aura wands. Which do I have? Yes, I have them handy here. Here's a selenite aura wand. We use that to do a final cleanse and seal of the person's aura. Okay, so you waft down the body, as it were, your selenite wand, and it's from head to toe, and you're wafting almost. You can touch the client if you like with the wand, and it's just gentle wafting motion down the body, head to toe, and then you take from the bottom. You touch the bottom and you bring it right up in the arc to above the client's head, and then you point it out through the window so that anything else that is lingering energetically that is no longer serving your client is then put out the window. This is intention. You use your intention. The intention is a most powerful tool. Use it wisely and for the highest good of all. So that's what I would use my wand for.
Getting loads of love hearts here, Jules.
What's that?
Getting loads of love hearts from everybody.
Oh, brilliant. Good. And that is your crystal healing, a therapy that you would do. There's many layouts that, like I say, that you can follow. That is a guide to follow and what have you. You then, as I say, take the crystals are off, sacra. The aura is sealed and cleansed, finished. Sit up your client, make sure they're fine, get them water, get them onto a seat, and then you finish up with a little chat to conclude the session. Because remember, there's always a beginning, middle, and end to your session. So the client is held structurally throughout the whole process. You don't want them going out lightheaded or high and dry, midway. You want them that everything has come to, a conclusion and they are in a better place. So they are okay to get in the car and go home, as it were. And that is a crystal healing.
That was amazing. I think you deserve a wee clap for that. And just to let people know out there, your next crystal healing course is in Ellen on the 25th, the 26th. And where is it being done?
It's at the Calich Yoga Wellness Centre in the Neil Ross Square in Ellen. We'll do another Friday night like this again, which is included in your course price. And then full days, Saturday and Sunday. You get your course notes, you get a book that I've included in you doing the course with me from Philip Permute, who's a wonderful crystal healer and teacher down in England. He's written about a dozen books. That's included in your course cost as well. It is a certified course as well.
I would just like to say thanks on behalf of everybody here, and there's some comments out here that are all saying amazing, and just letting people know that Jules is here, and we hope to have her up here a lot more often.
Yes,
And
absolutely. I will come up.
yeah, and she's got a lovely shop in Ellen, and I can never remember the name of the street it's off. It's off the High Street sort of time, isn't it?
It is Unit 2, Ellen. I'm forgetting. Ellen Shopping Centre, Bridge Street, Ellen.
And I must say, a big thanks to her. And I have known many, many crystal healers over the years, and I've been involved in crystal museums, but I've not met anyone that knows as much about crystals as Jules. And I highly recommend going for a session, going to see her shop. And I know it's like a wee sweetie shop in here. Everybody here is dying to have a look at the crystals. Once again, Jules, thanks. And Di, I hope you enjoyed that. How did you feel?
It's lovely. Everybody should feel this. I don't want to go.
That's live in front of thousands out there. But anyway, thanks.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah, and we'll just say thanks to everybody who tuned in. And I think if you haven't seen all this video, please wind it back and play it again. That was amazing. And once again, big round of applause for Jules. And we'll say cheerio, everybody.